Justin Craig stared into the amber depths of his third oar, was it fourth synthy beer, and wondered if rock bottom had a basement. The liquid tasted like disappointment, with a hint of recycled atmosphere, which seemed fitting for his current situation. Around him, scrapyard sallies buzzed with the usual collection of galactic misfits, smugglers arguing over shipping routes, miners spending their hazard pay on overpriced alcohol, and at least 3 species he couldn't identify but were definitely armed. Another round? Sally herself asked, sliding her bulk between customers with practiced ease. The Rielian bartender had 4 arms, 2 of which were currently mixing drinks, while the other 2 collected payment. Her kittenless exterior gleamed under the cantinas, flickering neon, and her compound eyes fixed on Justin with something that might have been sympathy. "Why not?" Justin muttered, pushing his empty glass forward. "I've got nowhere else to spend my last 20 credits. 20 credits, Christ. 6 months ago, he'd owned Craig's Custom Garage, the best independent repair shop in the Detroit sector. Now he couldn't afford a decent meal, let alone passage back to Earth. Not that Earth held any appeal anymore. Lissa had made sure of that when she cleaned him out in the divorce, taking everything from the shop's equipment to their wedding china. Hell, she'd probably kept the china just to spite him. The woman lived on protein bars and coffee. "Rough break, friend," said a voice to his left. Justin glanced over to see a Centuron in a gaudy purple suit nursing what looked like liquid mercury. The alien's skin had that oily sheen that marked him as a confidence man, and his smile revealed to many teeth. "Name's Vex. Couldn't help but overhear your financial situation." "Yeah, well, divorce is expensive." Justin took a long pull from his fresh beer. "Especially when your ex-wife's lawyer makes Jabba the Hutt look charitable." Vex's laughter sounded like grinding gears. "Ah, the eternal struggle of the married man. But perhaps fortune smiles upon you tonight, my terrestrial friend. Are you familiar with the Iron and Mysteries auction?" Justin had heard whispers about iron and mysteries in the darker corners of Kepler 9. Ships sold with no questions asked. Their histories buried deeper than Jimmy Hoffa. The kind of place where you could buy a freighter that used to belong to someone who mysteriously disappeared near a black hole. "I've heard stories," Justin said carefully. "Stories, yes. But tonight, reality beckons." Vex leaned closer, his breath smelling like ozone and bad decisions. "I happen to know they have several vessels going cheap, very cheap. A man with your mechanical expertise might find opportunity where others see only scrap." Justin's fingers tightened around his glass. 500 credits was all he had left. His entire worldly fortune reduced to what most people spent on a decent dinner. But what was the alternative? Stay on Kepler 9 until his money ran out, then find work as a wrench turner in some corporate shipyard. What kind of cheap are we? Talking about Vex's grin widened impossibly, the kind where a smart man might walk away with his own starship for the price of a used speeder. 2 hours later, Justin stood in Hangar 47, wondering if he'd made a terrible mistake. The auction house looked like it had been assembled from spare parts and bad intentions. Flickering holographic displays advertised various vessels, while a mixed crowd of species haggled, threatened, and occasionally shot each other. The air reeked of lubricant, ozone, and something that might have been fear. Vex had vanished the moment they'd arrived, leaving Justin clutching his credit stick like a life preserver. Around him, hardened spacers examined ships with the casual expertise of people who knew the difference between gently used and radioactive death traps. Ladies, gentlemen, and distinguished hermaphrodites," boomed a voice from the raised platform at the center of the hangar. "Welcome to Iron and Mysteries, where one being's trash becomes another being's treasure." The auctioneer was another. Centron, this one wearing a jacket that hurt to look at directly. His forearms gestured wildly as he spoke, manipulating holographic displays that showed various spacecraft in states of questionable repair. "Our first lot tonight," the auctioneer continued, "is a lovely Aileron Pleasure, yachtily slightly irradiated. Perfect for someone looking to glow in the dark." Justin watched as the yacht sold for 800 credits to a Krillian who kept checking a radiation detector. He began to seriously reconsider his life choices. The auction continued with a parade of vessels that looked like they'd lost arguments with asteroids. A Martian freight hauler with minor hull breaches went for 1,200. A TAS City patrol craft, missing only non-essential systems like life support, sold for 1,500. Justin's confidence eroded with each lot. And now, the auctioneer announced with theatrical flair, "We present something truly special, Lot 47, a genuine Valerian combat frigate, the Siren 9. The holographic display flickered to life, showing a sleek vessel that looked like it had been designed by someone who understood both form and function. Even in the fuzzy projection, Justin could see the elegant curves of its hull, the powerful sweep of its engine pods. It was beautiful, the kind of ship spacers dreamed about owning. It was also clearly damaged. Scorch marks scored the hull. Several access panels hung loose, and one of the engine nacelles looked like it had been chewed by something with very large teeth. "This magnificent vessel," the auctioneer continued, "features advanced Valerian technology, quantum phase shielding, and a fully integrated AI system. Note the distinctive battle scars, proof of its combat pedigree." A murmur ran through the crowd. Even Justin knew Valerian ships were legendary, fast, tough, and equipped with technology most species could only dream about. They were also rarer than honest politicians, since the Valerians had vanished from known space decades ago. "The ship does have a few minor issues," the auctioneer added quickly. "Some life support irregularities, possible AI quirks, and the previous owner's fate remains unclear. But what's a little mystery between friends?" The bidding started at 5,000 credits. Justin's heart sank. He couldn't compete with that kind of money. He watched as the price climbed steadily. 6,000, 7,800. Then something strange happened. The bidding stalled. "Come now," the auctioneer urged. "This is a Valerian frigate. You won't find another one this side of the galactic core." But the crowd seemed spooked. Spacers who'd been bidding aggressively on radiation-soaked pleasure yachts suddenly found their boots fascinating. The price hung at 8,000 credits, like a bad smell. 8,000 going once, going twice, ... The auctioneer's voice carried a note of desperation. Surely someone recognizes a bargain when they see one. More silence. Justin felt a strange tingling in his chest. The same sensation he'd gotten the first time he'd seen a 67 Mustang engine bay. This was a machine worth saving, even if it killed him. 7,000, the auctioneer tried. 6, come on people, I've got bills to pay. The price kept dropping. 5,000, 4, 3, 2,000. Credit sand, still no takers. The crowd shuffled nervously, as if the ship might explode just from being looked at wrong. 2,000 going once, Justin's hand shot up before his brain could stop it. 500. The hangar fell silent. Every head turned toward him, and Justin felt like a mouse that had just volunteered to bell a cat. The auctioneer's face went through several interesting color changes. Did you say 500, sir? Yeah, Justin's voice cracked slightly. He cleared his throat and tried again. 500 credits. That's my bid. Nervous laughter rippled through the crowd. Someone muttered something about stupid humans in Gale standard. Justin's face burned, but he kept his hand raised. The auctioneer looked around desperately. Surely someone would top 500 credits for a genuine Valerian frigate. Anyone at all. Silence. 500 going once, going twice. The auctioneer's hammer hovered in the air like the sword of Damocles, sold to the human with more courage than sense. The gavel fell with a sound like a coffin lid closing. 20 minutes later, Justin stood in the Siren 9's docking bay, wondering what the hell he'd gotten himself into.